And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar right here on BearcatJournal.com. Hail Mary's located in Cheviot. They're in the Dora District, right on Harrison Avenue. You can walk from bar to bar with your drinks, but why would you go anywhere when you can hang out at Hail Mary's, where they've got 27 TVs, 3 facing outside, a 9-screen video wall. There's not a bad seat in the house. They subscribe to all the sports packages. They can stream all the games, and the Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. They don't have a kitchen, but they have food trucks on the weekends, brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines. And not only do they pour the coldest beer around, but they do so in 32.8 degree beer frosted glasses. All right, Wednesday night, time to take a look at the action this weekend in the Big 12. Why do we do this on Wednesdays? Because sometimes there's Thursday night games.
Like this week.
This week, Arizona State taking on Texas State. Arizona State, shockingly, Aaron, only a 1.5-point favorite. I know Texas State is pretty good, but
both
Arizona
teams
State
2-0.
Yeah, both teams 2-0. Arizona State is off to a very surprising start, and this, I think, would solidify them as a team that's not bad. Like we expected, they were picked last. This would be the second year in a row if they're not bad. The second year in a row, the team that's picked to finish last. Last year it was West Virginia. Arizona State is kind of shaping up for a similar path.
ESPN believes in Arizona State a little bit more than Vegas does, giving them almost 66% to win this game. I'm going to believe in Arizona State until they give me a reason not to. Right now, I think they got the ball rolling, and one thing that's hard to stop in any league is momentum. And I think Texas State's going to have their work cut out for them.
Texas State with McLeod, a really solid quarterback. He has had, he's a guy that's been around for a long time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his 5th year, playing a lot of football. So that I would guess is where that line is where it is, because Texas State does have a guy that can throw it around, 547 yards and 5 touchdowns over their first 2 games. But I'm laying the points here, 1.5. I think Arizona State is going to win this game. So you're kind of silly not to lay the 1.5, right?
Right.
Unless you think it's going to be a 1-point game. I think Arizona State wins outright. I'm not sure about the total. I could see it being a little below 59.5, but I would stay away from that. I'm taking the Sun Devils and giving the 1.5.
We're on the same page.
Friday, couple of games on Friday as well. Dave talked about this one on the BCJ pod tonight with UNLV at Kansas. Kansas, a 7.5-point favorite, 58.5 is the total. Jalen Daniels has not had a good start to the year. He's thrown for under 300 yards combined in 2 games. He has 3 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. I kind of want to go UNLV here.
I certainly don't like the spread. I'm not taking Kansas 7.5. No way, no shot.
I think UNLV is pretty solid. I mean, they drilled Houston in that first game 27-7 and then put up 72 on Utah Tech. No clue who Utah Tech is. But I think UNLV is good. I think Kansas is struggling. I'm not ready to go money line here, but like you, I'm definitely taking the points with UNLV. I think I might go over too.
I think this is going to be a very big game for the trajectory of the rest of the season for Kansas. If they can't get right against UNLV, it's not going to get any easier in the Big 12.
And then Devin Neal they've only given him the ball 22 times in 2 games.
Almost like you need to give your workhorse the ball. Weird.
Right? Maybe that's how you play better.
Huh.
Whatever. 213 yards, only 2 touchdowns. So it wouldn't be surprised to see him have a breakout game. I think I would lean over here, Aaron.
Over on the 58.5.
Yeah, over on the 58.5. I think there's going to be
Okay.
some points scored here.
I don't think that's crazy talk. It's going to matter what Jalen Daniels shows up.
Yeah, he has not been good so far, so that's going to be interesting. Maybe the game of the week in the Big 12, but it's not a Big 12 game. This is an out-of-conference game.
What?
This game
Because
was scheduled.
It was already scheduled
before there was the conference switch. So Arizona goes to Kansas State in a non-conference game. Kansas State favored by 7, total 60.5. Kansas State has not looked great so far this year.
Do you believe in Avery Johnson?
Is right really now, what this comes down to. Can.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I don't feel good about Kansas State 7. I don't feel good about Kansas State money line. I don't feel good about Kansas State. I feel good about Arizona. And I think Arizona right now has the ball rolling. I think they have things working in their favor. I think they have a dynamic player in their receiver, McMillan, right? Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, the hard part about that is he had 300 yards in the first game and like
10
in the second game. So
still, you got to stop him. I don't know.
For Arizona, it's their quarterback, Fafita. 595 yards, 5 touchdowns in their first 2 games. Yeah. I'm taking the points. If you're going to give me 7 in this game on either team, I think I'm taking it.
I'm not only taking the points, I'm putting Arizona on the money line.
Okay.
I'm confident Arizona will win this game.
Any opinion on the over-under?
60.5.
It's pretty high.
It is pretty high, but I mean, that's not any higher than it's been on any of the other games that we've discussed, really. At 59.5 and 58.5.
But I guess the reason I think both of these teams are better defensively than the other teams we've talked about.
Sure. But they both can also put up gobs of points. So
yeah.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't touch the over-under.
I probably wouldn't either. I would lean under, but I probably wouldn't feel real comfortable with it. Yeah. That takes us to Saturday. Oklahoma State at Tulsa. Oklahoma State favored by 19. 62.5 is the total here. Alan Bowman has had a pretty good start to the year. 571 yards, only 3 touchdowns. Ollie Gordon has been a little quiet. 45 carries, 175 yards. Yards per carry is not great when you think about Allen, or when you think about what you expect from Ollie Gordon.
He's due. I think that Oklahoma State is going to bury Tulsa. It's not going to be close. I think 19 is probably still a disservice, truthfully. I think they're going to win handily, 3 scores plus. And I think you could probably even take the over on the 62.5.
Tulsa lost last week to Butch Jones. Oklahoma State lay the points, 19.5. Hit the over, 62.5. Oklahoma State is going to do most of that by themselves. I think it is a beatdown in Chapman Stadium. I didn't even know what the name of their stadium was. We'll skip over Cincinnati and Miami. That takes us to FS1. North Texas at Texas Tech. Texas Tech, 9.5-point favorite. The total here is a big one, 69.5. North Texas has scored 87 points in their first 2 games. Nothing big. South Alabama and Stephen F. Austin. But that is going to be a good offense against a bad Texas Tech defense. I'm most confident in the over here. I think Texas Tech wins. I don't think I would touch the spread.
I think North Texas has an upset chance. I don't believe in Texas Tech. They didn't look good
I don't
against
either.
Abilene. They didn't look good against Abilene Christian. They didn't look good last week against Washington State. I don't think Texas Tech is a good team, and I wouldn't bet any of these lines. If you're going to bet anything, bet the under on 69.5.
I don't know that you bet the under, dude. Both of these teams can score. Texas Tech's quarterback through 2 games, Chandler Morris, has thrown for 737 yards and 7 touchdowns.
I don't know. I don't think Texas Tech's going to do enough to win a game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing with you there. That's why, I mean, I would stay away from it just
Entirely.
because entirely. I do think it goes over. I think both of these teams score, they'd have to average 35 each to get to the over. I think that happens. I mean, North Texas gave up 38 to South Alabama and 20 to Stephen F. Austin.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
I mean, it's going to be touchdown. Like, it's going to be a track meet. I would bet the over. I would stay away from the line. If I had to do something, I would take the points. I would take North Texas and the points there. Perfect day, 74 and sunny in Lubbock. So look for a bunch of yards. The 3:30 game, only one 3:30 game, the backyard brawl, West Virginia at Pitt. WVU favored by 2. The line or the total is 63.5. I don't know. I didn't think Pittsburgh was any good. I don't know if West Virginia is any good. I don't know. I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under here. Whatever it is, I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the over, actually. And I think West Virginia is they're going to win by more than 2 points. Again, that's a stupid point spread. If you're going to take the spread,
right, just do the money line.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. So I'm taking West Virginia. I think that they're going to be all over Pitt. I wasn't impressed with Pitt. We should have beaten Pitt.
The problem is I wasn't impressed with West Virginia against Penn State. So I'm not impressed with either of these teams right now.
Fair enough.
That's the only thing keeping me from predicting West Virginia to kind of whip them, is that West Virginia just didn't do a lot to inspire confidence in that Penn State game, which was, that was a huge opportunity for them, and they laid an egg. And it's the backyard brawl. Crazy things do happen in that series. Eat shit, Pitt. I'll take West Virginia money line in the under. Utah travels to Utah State. Utah favored by 20. 44.5 is the total here. I would guess, I haven't seen anything, but I would guess Utah is going to be without Cam Rising for this one. That's probably why the total is only 44.5. Think about that. The total is 44.5 and the spread is 20.
And Utah State just lost to USC 48-0.
Yeah, that's why the total is that low. Utah State's offense must be.
Even if Cam Rising's healthy, you're not playing him a whole game. There's no reason to play him the whole game, especially with his injury history. So
you lay in the 20 here?
Give me the points and the over. I think that Utah is going to handle business easily.
I think so too. Even without Cam Rising, they'll handle Utah State. I'll lay the points. I'm not touching the over under. I don't know that Utah State scores. So if Utah State doesn't score, are we confident without Cam Rising, Utah's going to put up 44.5?
They'll score
44.5.
It's Utah State. It's not USC. It's a rivalry game.
I know, but no Cam Rising.
Okay.
Baylor hosts Air Force 7:30 FS1. Baylor favored by 15.5. The total is 41.5.
I don't miss Armed Forces games.
I'm going to take Air Force in the points. I think they'll keep it close. I think they'll keep it within 2 scores. I think the triple option keeps it close enough. I don't trust Baylor's defense to be able to just shut down the triple option. So I think whatever it is, Air Force hangs around and covers. Baylor wins. but I think it's going to be
I
close. And I'll take the under.
I also don't think Baylor's consistent enough to score when given the opportunity to score.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I think that 15.5 is entirely too much to give Baylor against anyone in the country, period.
Yeah.
So and then 41.5.
Is Iowa playing?
Give me the under for fun.
Again, a 15-point spread and a
Which is
41-point total.
The 15-point spread's stupid too. Like, just give me this whole all the lines in this game are dumb.
Colorado at Colorado State in Fort Collins. Colorado favored by 7, 58.5 is the total.
The mighty have fallen.
Colorado covers here, but I think it's going to be closer than it should be. Colorado scores a couple late in the fourth quarter.
Colorado State upset city, baby.
You're a Colorado hater.
I'm not a hater. I just don't think they're good. They have not shown me. And it's
anything.
It's an away game. In a game that Colorado State's going to be very, very hungry for this win.
Yeah. That one, like I said, 7:30 CBS. Like Dion is going to get all the primetime games until you rip them away from his cold, dead fingers. I want to see what you think on this one. UCF TCU in Fort Worth. UCF favored by 2.5, total 61.5. You hate both of these programs. Well, you hate UCF. Sonny Dykes.
I hate Sonny Dykes. UCF over TCU. 2.5. Give me the points. I'll take the spread. Yeah, easy.
I kind of think UCF wins fairly big here.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. 14, I think they win by
14, 10, 17,
10 plus. Yeah.
Yeah. Over under
61.5. That's a lot of points in this game.
I don't think TCU scores enough to get over.
I'm nervous that UCF is going to be just running the ball so much that there's not going to be enough time for either team to score 61.5. I'm with you. I think we're under.
The only problem there is they hit home runs, lots of them. So yeah, they run the ball a lot, but they get like 4 60+ yard runs, which means you don't have to grind the clock when you're hitting home runs. And the other thing is, like, UCF knows Sonny Dykes. Like they're familiar with the Sonny Dykes facade. So yeah, I like the Knights there. Unfortunately, that pains me. Rice at Houston. Houston favored by 4, total 44.5. Are you buying what Houston was selling in keeping it close with Oklahoma, or does new AAC member Rice knock off old AAC member Houston?
Houston's winning this game. Willie Fritz is getting his first win. 4 points on the spread. I don't know that I'm touching this. I don't know that I'm touching 4 points. They might win. They might win by 3.
They might win by half a point. Like somehow, if they win, they might win by half a point.
But I think that Houston's gonna figure it out here. 44.5 might be too much. You might be looking closer to a
31.5.
21-20 game. 23-20 game. I don't know.
17-10, 17-14.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't think I'm touching the over under, but even I'm not touching any of these lines. Just I'd take the
Houston money line.
Houston money line. That's it.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. I do agree. I think Willie Fritz gets his first win, but I think it'll be close. I think it'll be an interesting game. And then finally, BYU at Wyoming. BYU favored by 11, total 40.5. This is not supposed to be one of Wyoming's better teams.
They haven't been good this year. They lost to Idaho last week at home.
Yeah. 17-13, and then they got drilled by Arizona State 48-7. Everybody looked at that Arizona State game and said, "Oh, Wyoming's got a chance there." BYU's been a little surprising here. People thought they were going to be down. I think I lay the points. I think I take over. I like BYU here.
I'm with you. I think BYU at 11. I'm taking the points, and 40.5. I think we go over that, and I don't think it's particularly close to 40.5. I think it's probably closer to like 48, 49. But
yeah. All right, there you go. That's going to wrap it up, Aaron. You know, I talked a lot. I tried to save your voice.
I'm powering through this week. Hopefully
You
next
are.
week we're back. Hopefully next week we're back to 100%. Because my goodness, this is awful.
We got 3 keys tomorrow. That might be like 6 minutes. 3 keys out, and then you get Friday off. Saturday's going to be interesting. I don't know when I'm going to be home. I think. Hold on. I think we got a schedule. Oh no, we didn't get a full schedule. They play at 10, 11, and 12. And then I guess there's a tournament after that. I don't know. I might be in the bus on the way home by halftime. So, or in the car on the way home by halftime. Wouldn't that be a pain in the ass to just go down there for games at 10, 11, and 12 and drive home?
No, that sounds like a glorious Saturday. What are you talking about? Instead of having to waste your entire day, just be done by noon. Why are you complaining? What's wrong with you?
If I'm driving 2.5 hours, I need a little bit of time. Anyhow,
Stop at Buc-ee's and make it worth it.
wrong way. There's no Buc-ee's between here and Elizabethtown. Maybe I'll hit from E-Town over to Richmond the back way. I bet there's a back way for me to go.
There's always a back way in Kentucky.
Always. All right, that's going to wrap it up. We'll see you tomorrow night for 3 keys. That is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.